How's it going? Andrew Jute, VSN Tallahassee. Thanks for coming aboard for a little Varsity Sports Network rewind. We're going to head back to the 2019 flag football season. In the Big Bend, there can only be one district champion headed forward to represent us in the playoffs, and we've got two big teams going at it to try to win that spot. Lincoln Trojans, Godby Cougars, defensive battle. Enjoy. Alrighty, welcome aboard here to the Varsity Sports Network presentation of the District 2 championship game here for flag football. The 6 and 7 Lincoln Trojans, the 12 and 1 Godby Cougars. I'm Andrew Duke alongside Joe Ward. And Joe, these are two familiar foes. They've gone against each other in the regular season. This is the second straight year that they're going to meet for the district championship. Last year, Lincoln was able to take it in the postseason after losing in the regular season 7-0. It was a grind-em-out battle. Two teams that take a ton of pride in the defensive game, Joe, so it should be a good one. So first down and 6 to go for the Cougars. They will be led by their quarterback, Kayleen Colburn, number 3, who had a great game the other day versus Childs. She was able to get 2 passing touchdowns under her belt. Also had an extra point conversion on the ground. Very dangerous player. Been around the program for a long while. So here we go. Without further ado, Colburn with Nobles to her right. They're going to go a little swing pass coming out of the backfield. Good pull over here defensively near side. An excellent effort there by the Godby player. Looks like Giselle Jones, number 18. Godby's going to be wearing their all-black uniforms as they are just short of the first down, so to be second and about 1 to go.
A little bit of a misdirection bubble screen on that one. They're good play by the Lincoln defender.
Absolutely. They will switch it up here. Number of different weapons on the outside, on the inside, that Godby has to work with, as well as a dual-threat quarterback. And just as we say that, Colburn's going to line up at Armani Williams deep on the far side, breaking past the secondary, and she's right on the fringe of the red zone. A monstrous pickup. It's going to end up being about 39 yards when it's all said and done. So the Godby Cougars off and rolling early, Joe. So far, so good for the Cougars.
The middle route is what she ran. And quarterback number 3 got the ball to her on time, and great adjustment to come to get the ball.
Absolutely. Coming back towards Armani Williams, we saw the first drive back on Monday. She had a big reception, ended up setting up the touchdown that she had later in that drive. So she's one of the favorite targets here for Colburn for this Godby Cougar squad. Colburn going to look to her left, going to go deep, intended for Jones, just over her head. In front of the newscast station there, the local media all set up. Kaylee Farmer in the area defensively for the Trojans to make sure that one was not successfully completed.
It had to have been a perfect throw because it was right between 2 defenders.
And that was one thing. We saw Farmer, very good defensive back, Joe. Back on Monday, 2 interceptions. She had a number of breakups as well. Got her hands on a lot of balls defensively. Great at preventing the receiver from getting a hold of it. And on the same side, you got to love Colburn only putting it where her offender can get it. Pressure coming on the blitz for the Trojans, trying to hit the perimeter. But the effort will force Colburn out of bounds. Jacala Key on the pressure there for the Trojans. Glove the pursuit, swinging around, coming from the far side of the field, Joe, all the way around and putting the pressure on Colburn there.
Lincoln's going to have to show that here. You're not going to be able to let Colburn just stand there all day. You got to show you can come bring some heat.
Absolutely. That was one thing she felt like it had a lot of time throughout the course of the game. Looking at it through a big lens, it felt like she had a lot of time to operate versus Florida High. So we'll see if Lincoln's able to counter, and we see some pressure early. It looks like Key's going to come on another blitz, and here she comes, hounding Colburn. Still pursuing her. Colburn's going to get inside the goal line. Flag pulled on the far side. Good effort there by Ikea Washington. And it was Nadia Davis on the pursuit. Nadia Davis on the previous play seemed to have the rosters mixed up there as we get things organized. I'm going to switch these up a little bit. Of course, Davis had some big-time pools in their matchup early in the year when they battled in the regular season. Davis, so good pursuer there. She's wearing the distinctive, it looks like a pink headband from here, Joe. So you've been able to tell her very easily apart as she's trying to chase down these Godby offenders. It's going to be a goal-to-go scenario for the Cougars. Colburn's going to option left, stretch it out towards the 5-yard line. Good pull defensively for the Trojans to keep her out of the end zone. Hightower with the pull, so it should set up a 6-yard conversion. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go for Godby.
Nice run by Colburn here. Lincoln brought somebody in uncontested, and they did a little rollout here. She's got some serious speed.
Deceptively so too. Not necessarily someone you think that would beat you off the corner or hit the rollout, but she is very fast. We saw it in the last night, of course, being pursued by Janae Scott, one of the fastest players in the area. Thrown over top, and it's intercepted. The Trojans on the takeaway, able to pick it off in the end zone. Ikea Washington on the pick. She comes off the field gimpy, but another big takeaway. Lincoln had, I believe, 3 interceptions on Monday. Ikea Washington, a pick 6 herself on Monday, coming up huge. This is one thing Coach Yeoman's talked about. We were able to catch him before the game, Joe. He said they're a little shorthanded, especially in the secondary. So like you said, pressure was going to be big. Red zone was going to be big. There we go, a big takeaway. So far, so good. Early advantage to the Trojans. They hold serve here with the Godby Cougars. Lincoln will take over on their own 4-yard line. Of course, it looks like it's on the 14 of the football field, but due to the flag field being a little shorter than the guys' field, midfield will be maintained the same. So the 10s are actually the goal lines. So use that as a frame of reference as we go forward. So it's going to be 1st and 16. Ivy Zhang rushing up just to the right of the center of the ball field, right on the hash marks of the football field. Couple yard pickup there. They'll flip over the 5-yard line, and so a gain of a couple will set up a 2nd down and 14 to go for the Trojans. So Zhang, a good semifinal back on Monday, had a touchdown toss to Terrell, able to get in the end zone. Couple point after conversions for them as well. Zhang's going to set up in the shotgun, play action, bootleg, laugh pressure from behind by Nobles. Pass looking at Kiana Okwabi, the center and linebacker. So Okwabi came up big, had a couple clutch catches in their game versus Childs, keeping drives alive. And a lot of times you'll get those sneaky plays from the center, Joe, flying under the radar. Mm-hmm. Of course, once they complete their blocking duties, they can't go back and try to pursue the attackers. So coaches tell them, hey, just go run a route. And so a lot of times, a lot of their routes are ad-libbed, thrown out to the perimeter. Kaylee Farmer on the reception, but good coverage defensively by Godby over on the far side. It looks like Katie Dorsey is going to make the pull for the Cougars out in front of the Lincoln bench.
Yeah, they'll give you the short. They're going to give you the short pass here. They don't want you to beat them deep.
So it's going to put the ball on the 21-yard line of the football field. So it's going to be 9 yards for the conversion here on 3rd down for the Trojan, 4th down. So they're going to go ahead and punt it away. Riley French in to do the kicking duties for the Trojans. She'll blast it with her right-hand foot, end over end punt. Tony McLean getting up under it. It's tipped around and almost picked out of the air by Ernesia Floyd of the Trojans. But luckily for the Cougars, it's able to fall gently to the turf as McLean able to carry it before she fumbled to right at the 30-yard line. So a nice return so far. So good for the Trojans. The Cougars.
That's one thing. Their special teams. Last year we did the game against Dr. Phillips, and their special teams was a bit of a problem that night.
So we'll see what we have here. Of course, 30 yards out from the end zone now. Colburn's going to bootleg to the left, try and load up. Good pressure by Lincoln, and it's going to be a pull for loss once again. Nadia Davis with the pressure for the Trojans. Once again, being a playmaker there defensively, not letting Colburn get set. Excellent pursuit for the Trojans there defensively. Once again, keeping with the mantra of the pressure. It'll be 2nd down and 11. They'll lose 1 on that play.
And they brought 2 this time. They're going to mix this thing up.
Switch it up, you'll see a variety. Obviously, Davis is going to be your primary rusher, and they'll get a lot of different looks. Looks like they're going with a little cover 1 here. Farmer in the middle, the lone defensive back coming off of the line for the Trojans. She'll squat in. Colburn's going to load up. She's going to go downtown trying to find Williams deep. Hits the catch right by the goal line. Reaching over. They say she got the ball over in time. It's going to be a 30-yard touchdown. Colburn to Armani Williams as she reaches the ball over the line. So Godby on the board first. So Godby will go for 1. Colburn shotgun. Tony McLean to the right-hand side. 3 wide receivers right. Essence Noble's the only receiver to the left-hand side here right in front of us. Scramble for Colburn, looking near side, and she's tripped up once again. Nadia Davis with the pressure, and the conversion will be no good for the Cougars. So
The
we will stay at 6-0.
turf monster.
The old turf monster gets them. That's what you wonder with these players. Of course, a lot of their games being played here at Jinkock Stadium, some on natural grass, but you got to wonder how much of an impact that the turf has. Of course, it's a little tighter, a little faster, better grip. But you're using, for the most part, you're using the same cleats. They're not like professionals who have 3 or 4 different pairs of cleats, Joe.
And, yes, they only played here back on Monday, but sometimes it takes a little getting used to.
Absolutely. Got to reacquaint yourself there. So Zhang, once again, being pressured, and Essence Nobles on the sack. Their great pull for the Godby Cougars. So the pass rush coming in early. Nobles able to do it for Godby, and we saw it on the other side. Davis. Nobles had an excellent game on both sides of the ball back on Monday. So the loss is going to put them back all the way to the 6-yard line. It's going to set up a 14 scenario yards to gain here on 2nd down. So Zhang going to go out of the shotgun, throwing out near side.
Short.
Pass intended for, looks like, I believe it's Ania Smith, number 14. Of course, they had to pull a couple JV players up, so we're operating off the JV and the varsity roster. So I believe it was Anaya Smith, the intended receiver. Zhang loading up, big throw in the middle. Godby able to step in front, intercept the ball. Yards after the catch will bring it to right around the 15-yard line, but a great interception out of the secondary. Godby able to capitalize big time. I believe it looks like Giselle Jones, number 18.
Yep.
So it's going to set up Godby with good field position. So both teams, some early turnovers on the north side of the field, Joe.
I don't know who she was throwing it to, but there was nothing but Godby defenders there where the ball came down.
Yeah, they had the receiver bracketed well, so that'll be the expiration here of quarter number 1. So we'll take a quick break out here, come on back for frame number 2. So early, Godby once again threatening, but after 6-0 in favor of the Cougar. To get the automatic bid into the postseason. If you want to get into regionals, you got to win here tonight. Colburn's going to load up for Godby, throw to the back of the end zone, going back, shoulder intended for Armani Williams. A good diving effort, but a fall to the turf, incomplete. And I believe it should set up a 3rd down to go from the 15-yard line.
Actually ran a stop route. And ball was there, but maybe just a tad behind her.
So look to switch it up, see what the Cougars have in store here. Of course, 15 yards out, it's going to be the left hash mark of the flag football field. Here as we are in the first series of quarter number 2, keeper by Colburn. Once again, a good pull defensively by Lincoln to limit the damage. It will set up a 3rd and long. Now for the Cougars, it'll be right around 13, 14 yards to go on this conversion. Of course, being so close, this is basically 2-down territory, Joe. Being in the red zone, they're not going to punt it from inside the 20.
They're also not going to kick a field goal. There's no field goals either.
They could kick it through the field goal we have back there, but they're not going to get any points for it. That's right, Joe. That would be interesting. It'd be pretty fun to see.
Yeah.
So Colburn.
Maybe that'll be the next step.
Out of the shotgun, going to look for the pitch, but she'll hold on to it. Good pull defensively there. Kalia Hall, the rusher for the Trojans, the sophomore, able to make the pull coming out of the backfield. So great play defensively. It's going to force a 4th down and 12 here for the Cougars.
Wanted to pitch the ball, but made the right decision because there was a Lincoln defender right there. If she pitches it, this might have been going the other way.
So 12 yards. This is almost like a 2-point or a 3-point conversion. Just outside the 2-point conversion, and Colburn tries to throw and then tries to pull it back into her body, will fall to the turf. It's going to be ruled as incomplete, and the Lincoln Trojans now 2 trips defensively in the red zone, Joe, and 2 stops for the Lincoln Trojans. Huge so far for them. They're able to keep it at a 1-possession game. They will take over at their own 19-yard line.
Now I need to get a little something going on offense here. Maybe a roll out opposite from where the rush is coming from. Get some smart, short, accurate throws going.
Get some things rolling. There we go. So Zhang's going to be in the shotgun, looking over to the sideline, looking for some insight. To her right is going to be Kalia Hall. 2 wide receivers each side. Play action. Zhang going to go with the keeper right down Main Street. Armani Williams, great pull. And I love the dramatic pull there. Like you could pull it and throw it to the ground, but Williams, it seems, always throws it up into the air. I love the emphasis on that, especially when you make a big play like that. Stop a big gain going on for your opponent. Always a fun one. Williams had a big safety in their matchup versus Florida High on Monday. Big-time stuff. Put that game out of reach and sealed things up for Godby. Far side, a nice little pass. Ikea Washington on the reception. Williams, once again with the pull for the Cougars. So they'll mark it on the right hash mark as the Trojans have a moderate pickup there. It'll put the ball just outside the 30-yard line, right around the 27 or so.
And it's 2nd down.
Of course, they're going to need to get to the midfield marker at the 40. It's about 13 yards to go. So similar to a 2-point conversion. Zhang getting a little time. Great blocking there by Hall. Pass intended over the middle to Godby, the center. It will fall incomplete, so it's going to be a 3rd down, right around 13 to gain for the Trojans.
Good idea. Well, she was open.
Trying to find that gap in the zone. But Hall doing a great job. Godby doing a great job, able to stay in there. The blocker doing very well to give Zhang plenty of time to make a decision on that one. Just good defense by Godby. Hall again, throwing over the middle. Kira Bird almost had the interception, guarding Kaylee Farmer on underneath. Kira Bird had an interception back on Monday versus Florida High right before halftime, Joe. Almost ran it back. If it wasn't for Janae Scott, the quarterback, tracking her down and making the touchdown save and pull, she would have had a house call there, but it's going to fall incomplete, bring up 4th down. So once again, Riley French going to come on and punt it away for the Lincoln Trojans. A lefty blasts it down. McLean catches it clearly now. Fielded right around the 27. Goes truck stick on Kaylee Farmer, and she just stands and waits for the accompanying flag. So I assume that one is going to be marked off backward as we see a couple flags dropped right around the 33, 34-yard line. So it'll be 1st down coming out from the 24-yard line. Of course, need to get to the 40. It's going to be first and right around 16. Doing some simple math there. Colburn, play action. Tip drill. Oh, another interception. Towards the middle of the field, it's Washington again. IKEA Washington has 2 interceptions here in the first half. And what a district tournament Washington is having. 3rd interception of the tournament. She's already got a touchdown on a pick 6. And how about this? Lincoln struggling to get the offense started. Say, hey, defense, bail us out.
And they
Sitting
did.
pretty.
And they did.
Big play.
Now let's see if Lincoln converts.
Loaded up just on the fringe of the red zone here. Hall and Zhang in the backfield. Hall is going to be to Zhang's left. 2x2, 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. Oh, they're going with a little combo route. Oh, this one's intercepted. Another one. Giselle Jones on the pick. Trying to go far side and outrun the defenders. First player on the scene does not get the pull, but the second one does. Good hands there by Keanu Godby. So back-to-back interceptions. They don't like holding on to the ball here tonight, Joe, but the defense just that good. Great positioning by the secondaries and great ability to just secure the ball and hit it in stride.
But I do like the play call. I do like the play call. That's even though it's an interception, they were aggressive. They were trying for the big play because they were in positive territory. Let's see if later in the game they come right back with that same thing because the receiver on the opposite side of the field, away from all that, was open.
So we will see. Interesting to watch. So to be first down, the Cougars going to bring it out of their own end. Ball is going to be marked at the 8. Pressure on Colburn. She's able to get it up. And almost another interception. That would have been 3 straight plays. Oh, what a great defensive positioning there by Michaela Hightower. The senior almost gave us 3 interceptions in a row, and we saw a 7-0 game last year. 2 teams that pride themselves in defense. And so far, we're seeing a similar story.
Game, but I don't think it's going to stay 6-0 the way this is going.
Takeaways for days. We may get a couple defensive scores the way this one's rolling. Wild. So once again, going from the 8-yard line. Be a first down and 12 for the Cougars. Colburn pressure by Davis, thrown underneath. Good catch by Jones. Nice pull stretch by Washington, able to make the quick pull, limit the damage there. So it'll set up 3rd down and short. Should be right about 4 or 5, depending on the spot.
About 4.
Good-looking spot. They'll put him at the
17-yard
17, so only need to get 3 here to push forward to the 30. Colburn in the shotgun. Tailback left is Noble. Scrambles back towards the middle, stretches the ball over. First down, says the side referee. So Colburn getting just enough to move the chains. And Godby will keep the drive alive.
She is an excellent athlete. Okay, Colburn is good run.
And that's what we've seen. We've seen the quarterbacks. Typically, you see speedy quarterbacks try to hit the perimeters, Joe. But so far, we've seen Zhang and Colburn on both sides of the field just go right directly, pick up the block, and then just slice up that B gap, it would be, and just go head down, trucking forward, try to pick up those couple yards. So interesting so far. See if we'll get a switch schematically defensively if that becomes an issue. Overthrow to the far side. Intended for Bird. French in defensively. It's going to bring up a 2nd and long for the Cougars. So once again, some pressure there. Usual suspect, Nadia Davis. Big effort so far for the Trojans. Of course, like we talked about, had some great pressures and a couple sacks in their game earlier this season, which Godby was able to take 25-6. It was back here at Gamecock Stadium. Of course, they were wearing opposite uniforms that day. Trojans were in the dark uniforms, and there we go, right on cue, Joe. Nadia Davis with another monster pull. It's going to bring up 3rd down, and it looks like the sack will lose them a yard or 2. They're going to put it right on the 20, so it'll be a 3rd down and a full 20 to go, just inside the right hash mark.
Absolutely. That defender for Lincoln has played it. Who's that?
Nadia Davis.
She's just been outstanding here.
Colburn will adjust her flags, looking over the sideline, get the play call. So we have 5 seconds to go on the play clock. Under a minute to go in the half. Colburn looking near side. Pressure from Davis again. Throws it back to Nobles. And look at Davis. The pressure and the turnaround. Able to get the ball carrier. 4th down and long. Davis is having a beautiful effort. The senior doesn't want this game to be her last. She is leaving it all out there. 4th down and 19 to go.
She's been the MVP on the Lincoln defense so far. Here, putting all that pressure on Colburn.
Go to punt it away. Josie Munez, the punter, number 8, coming out for Godby. Of course, in her distinctive red cleats. The lefty will blast it. Nice little spiraling kick fielded by Farmer. She's a dangerous one. Monster return in their game earlier this season. Oh, beautiful pull by Nobles. Diving, tumbling effort to limit the return there. Farmer will stretch it out and be right around the area of the 35, 30.
Is that iced tea?
Nope, it's lemonade.
Is that iced tea?
Lemonade.
Iced tea.
What's with these people, man? Lemonade. Read the sign. Lemonade. Read it.
Okay.
Delicious.
Iced tea at a lemonade stand? Surprising.
Come by and see your local Geico agent, Jim Smith, on North Monroe Street in Tallahassee, or give him a call at 850-778-4000.
It's lemonade, man.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
You probably know that Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And did you also know there's a local Geico office right in your area? From cars, boats, and RVs to your sweet two-wheeled machine, our friendly insurance experts will make sure you have the coverage you need.
Give your local Geico agent a call today, Jim Smith in Tallahassee at 850-778-4000, or go by and see him at 2508 North Monroe Street. Jim Smith, your local Tallahassee Geico agent, 850-778-4000.
Alrighty, back here, Varsity Sports Network Game of the Week. Here's the District 2 Class 1A Championship here in flag football. Ivy Zhang and the Lincoln Trojans taking over. Pass intended for Ikea Washington. Good rejection there by Armani Williams. Bring up a 2nd down and 6 to go here for the Cougars. Excuse me, the Trojans.
Was sitting on the route.
Ready for that quick little out route. Definitely hit the film session there, Joe. Been watching those. Of course, 2 familiar foes. Seeing a lot of what each other has to do. Zhang once again taking the middle of that defense. Nobles with a nice pull. Set up 3rd down. Zhang will pick up a couple. No, mark it at the left hash mark here. So it'll be right around 3 to go for the 1st down. Of course, the lone touchdown, receiving one by Armani Williams back in quarter number 1. Throw one out here near side. Pass there intended for number 14 of the Lincoln Trojans. Once again, Anaya Smith.
And they're going to punt.
So quick couple plays there for the Lincoln Trojans offense. Still trying to hit that groove offensively. Haven't been able to hit their stride yet. Of course, putting up 32 points in their semifinal game versus Childs on Monday. Good pump by French right in the middle. Colburn, a nice return, and she'll swerve through a couple defenders, able to get it to about the 33 or 34-yard line. It'll set up a sizable but still manageable 1st down and right around. Looks like they'll give it the 13. So mark it at the 33. Of course, going to the 20. Cougars now going from north to south. On your TV screen, on your monitor, whatever you're using. Here, play action. Colburn's going to fake the pitch. And now we'll try the actual lateral to Noble. So good little play combination there. As Noble stretches forward, there is a penalty on the field, but it looks like they're going to tag up Nobles with flag guarding. So it should be a penalty on Godby. They'll back this one up a little bit.
Nice little play call there. A little roll out, and then a little pitch out. But you can't guard the flag.
Absolutely. It was shades of, it was almost a quadruple option, Joe, because you have the typical triple option look where they faked the fullback and then busted outside, but there was also an option for a shovel pass that Colburn could have taken if she wanted. So essentially, if you incorporate the passing game with that, it was more or less a quadruple option play call. I love whatever that scenario was. That was a great formation, some great offensive tactics there from Coach Palmer and Coach Hufty of the Godby coaching staff. Colburn wants to take a big shot going down far side. Armani Williams! Big time catch just outside the goal line. Climbing the ladder does Williams. If not for the fall, she would have gotten into the end zone. Ball's going to be marked right around the 2 or 3 yard line. A monster right around a 35-yard pickup there for the Cougars. It'll sit at first and goal.
That was right on the money.
Good placement, good adjustment by Williams. 2-by-2 Colburn. They spread out the formation. She's going to go right down the middle, keeps it herself. 12-0 now Cougars as they start each half with a touchdown drive. Here, quarter number 3, 12-0 in favor of the Cougars. This one's going to be from 2 yards out. So we'll see here. We see a number of different looks. The way that left side is looking, I wouldn't be surprised if Colburn gives it a run. Oh, she thought about it. Now we'll bounce outside, stretching for the pylon.
Got it.
And we'll be able to hit it before she tumbles to the turf. Referee says it's all good. So Godby now up 13-0 after a successful point after attempt. Colburn on the rush here for the district title. To the Lincoln Trojan offense, once again, going to climb out here. Biggest deficit of the game, as we said. Of course, try to establish some momentum. We're able to get
They've also changed quarterbacks, too.
Get the running game going. As we see here, so it looks like Kaylee Farmer will come in to play a little quarterback. They do typically switch around their quarterbacks a little bit, Joe, but of course with the absence of Aaron Terrell, they haven't been able to do so as much this evening. So Farmer will give them more of a dual threat look. Oh, speaking of dual threats, Essence, Nobles, offense earlier in the game, defense here. Beautiful pull for loss. It will back the Trojans up 2 yards. Absolutely, and Godby is one of the more patient teams in the area, Joe, and by that, they very content we see in late game scenarios of them not rushing the clock. We'll see Colburn really bleed the play clock all the way down as low as it can go. Pressure here coming from Davis. Colburn breaking out of the pocket. Throws intended for Jones. She will try to slide back and get underneath of it, but it'll fall incomplete. So to set up a 3rd down and long for the Cougars is time winding down here in period number 3, Joe. Just as we talk about the time here, we're right about 35 seconds to go in the half.
It goes.
Or excuse me, in the quarter.
In the quarter, it goes quick.
So we have here getting ready for this 3rd down conversion. So this will be a big one for Lincoln. If they can muster a stop here, they can put themselves in a position with the entire 4th quarter to get 2 scores back. Throwing over the middle. Lane breaker. Kaylee Farmer with interception. Try to get one the easy way on defense. Slice and pass. Armani Williams with the pull. But Kaylee Farmer again also having a big-time district tournament. She had 2 interceptions on Monday. Able to notch another 2 out here this evening. The Trojans on defense loving these takeaways, Joe, and that was a huge one, exactly what the Trojans needed out here to set them up offensively. So now great field position. So still that 13-0 margin as we head into quarter number 4. So we'll be interested to see what they do defensively. Zhang in a quarterback now over the middle. Riley French with a reception. She's going to break 3, put it in the end zone. Lincoln's on the board. A huge 24-yard touchdown. Back to a 1-possession game. Lincoln.
Crossing route, and it was there on time.
Absolutely right on the money. Good reception by French. 7-point ball game. Trojans able to make the breakthrough.
That was open earlier when they had an interception back in the first half, and they went with the same route going the other way and was picked off.
Going for one. Zhang over the middle. Tipped up by a couple players in the middle of the field. Last touch by Giselle Jones of Godby, so conversion will be failed. But more importantly for Lincoln, it is back to a one-possession game here in quarter number 4. So far, so good, as Godby will take over here on first down. So Godby, it's probably going to be clock management with this defensive game that we've had from what we've seen of them in the past. So look for them to stay in bounds. If you're Lincoln, you anticipate that they try to jump the route, try to get an easy one, set up this offense. First down and 6. Colburn, little motion coming here from Jones. Play action, nice little shovel pass. There comes that quadruple option again. Ikea Washington reads it beautifully. Kira Bird on the reception of the shovel pass, but a quick pull, small gain on the play. It looks like about 2-3 yard gain. So it'll set up a second down and a long 3 for the Cougars.
It's kind of more of a triple option what they're doing here when they get the first pass and then the next one here, and it's all behind. It's still behind the line of scrimmage.
True.
Here, so it's kind of more of a triple option.
With, of course, that receiver also being eligible as well. So in a quick amount of time, a lot of different playmakers able to get on the ball for the Cougars. All about the read. Pitch out here. Nobles, first down and more. Stretches it out above the 30, or right around the 30-yard line to the 29. We'll say flag pulled. So new set of downs for the Cougars. So it'd be first and right around 11 to go for Godby. 9 minutes to go in the quarter.
Nice play call there. Little speed option to the left side there, and Lincoln had more people on the other side of the field. Nice play call.
Absolutely. Just a straightforward look there, Joe. Saul Nobles was able to get a similar touchdown. I believe it was back in the second quarter versus Florida High. Similar play going to the south side of the end zone. Colburn on the keeper is just going to stretch the ball out. Flag was never pulled, a collision for the players, and she kept on going, so she'll be able to reach the ball over midfield. So they'll move the chains. It'll be marked at the 39-yard line of Lincoln, so it'll be first and 19 as they need to get to the 20-yard line.
That didn't make any sense. Lincoln players should have just gone ahead and pulled the flag.
Set it up. First and 19 now. Colburn in the backfield with Nobles to her right. 3 wide receivers. Knight, Kira Bird, the lone receiver left. She's guarded by French. Lincoln showing pressure. Looks like 2 rushers loaded up. Nadia Davis on the far side. Here come 2 for Lincoln. Davis crashes central. Beautiful pull. Looks to be for a loss back right around the 40-yard line. So set up a second down and right around 20 to go.
She's had a super game, Nadia Davis.
Just able to read those rushers, Joe, because they had the 2 blockers and the running back that were trying to limit the 2 rushers for Lincoln, but she just split the blockers, went right for Colburn, got the pull. Just a good individual play on defense. They're going to need a couple more here. You try to put a hold on Godby. Davis crashing in. Same exact thing. Beautiful play by Davis. Back-to-back efforts. Beautiful pursuit on the rush. Third down and long to go. A heavy 19 needed to get to the first down.
I think if I'm Godby, I think I might want to try something else here on third down here and make sure Davis doesn't become a factor in this play.
As we approach the 6.5-minute mark by the time this one is hiked, Godby very comfortable. They're going to give her the sack. Davis with 3 straight pressures. It ended up being an interception by Farmer, but a ruled sack, and I think that takes going for it off of the table now for the Cougars, Joe, as this one gets backed all the way up to the 35. It's going to be 4th and 25 for the Cougars conversion upcoming.
Lincoln needs a good return here to set this thing up, but they got a chance. Their defense has played outstanding in this game.
Not many more dangerous than Kaylee Farmer. She's going to be the middle returner for Lincoln. It will bounce right about the 12-yard line. Oh, great bounce for Godby. Farmer will back up. Her left foot's going to touch the goal line of her own end zone. Tony McLean, relentless pursuit. She dives after Farmer. Her teammate gets the pull, but I think it's going to be an illegal contact, Joe. She grabbed the shorts of Farmer, did not get the flag, and so I think Lincoln's going to get a couple penalty yardage after this one when it's all said and done. 7-point margin. Godby can really add on to this one, and now new set of downs. Ball placed at the 6-yard line. Goal to go. Godby could almost put this one out of reach. 2 minutes to go. We are sub 2 minutes. Official time to be kept on the field as a reminder. Colburn looking to her right, going to break pressure. Look at this by the Trojans. Colburn in the middle of it. Oh, Byrne with a beautiful interception. Maybe an even better pull by Farmer. She does not get in the end zone, but great catch. But a good job by Lincoln to keep the Trojans, or to keep the Cougars out of the end zone, but they're going to set them up. 2nd down, 1 to go. 1:35 to go now. 2nd down. Surprised Lincoln not using any of their timeouts.
Yeah, I am too.
Have a full slate of them. Of course, Godby will be more than content to run the clock down. And I don't imagine they put it in the air. I don't see anything besides a Colburn run.
No, it'll be a Colburn option run.
Right down the middle. Colburn going to bootleg Davis with some nice pressure, cutting back centrally. Oh, great tackle there. Pool in the backfield as two Lincoln players collide. That does not look good of those Western road trips for the Tallahassee team. So still getting that different experience that they wouldn't necessarily get in their own area. So here we go. Colburn resuming play. He's going to dive right down the middle. Touchdown for the Cougars as Colburn's able to sneak in. And there we go, Joe. Maybe
and there was the one up the middle.
A couple plays later than we would have anticipated. But Colburn getting through 4-6 for the Cougars. It's going to be her second touchdown rush of the game. She's been involved in all three Godby Cougar touchdowns out here this evening. Once again, from 2 yards out. She likes that 2-yard line, Joe.
Mm-hmm. And they like it when it goes up the middle here, because that's where all the touchdowns have come. It's been up the middle, no rollout.
And it's really tough. In the flag game, Joe, it's very tough when you're 2 yards out as the throw intended for McLean falls incomplete, so we'll stay at 19. So that's, like we were saying, Joe, it's really tough in the flag. When you're 2 yards out, you have somebody coming right at you. It's hard to grab a flag because it's where the spot of the ball is. Mm-hmm. So your arm is about a yard and a half. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, when you're 2 yards out, it's super tough to defend. There's not much you can do. And Colburn very adept at doing so for the Cougars.
It'd be one of those when you got first and goal, about to do, the best thing to do is just go right up the middle, and nothing fancy.
Absolutely. So it'll be a 1st down and 6, but time is of the essence for the Trojans. Zhang at a bootleg to her left, throws it on over. Good reception by Godby in the middle of the field. Nice little yard after the catch. 1st down and then some. Ball be right around the 25-yard line. So that's what Lincoln needs, but they need to show a little tempo here. 51 seconds to go. So Godby once again taking the snap. Zhang shotgun, Hall her left. 3 wide receivers right. It's a decoy. Didn't look like Lincoln was ready. Throwing over the middle, intercepted by Colburn. Stretching out towards the far side. Rip of the flag by Zhang. Right in the area of the red zone. So that should just about do it here. 37 seconds to go when it's all said and done. Godby back with the football. And it looks like for the first time since 2016, the Godby Cougars are going to be district champions here in the Big Bend. And it's official. We are all final 19-6. The Cougars prevail over the Lincoln Trojans. They will play in the regional semifinals. For Andrew Jupe, Joe Ward, and James Ward, this has been a Varsity Sports Network production. Take care.